Welcome to The Explainer. I am so excited you're here today because we're diving headfirst into an absolutely wild planetary scale thought experiment. Just picture it, the ground beneath your feet, your neighborhood, the oceans, literally everything you know, just coming to a complete, screeching halt.
Could you survive a 5-second planetary halt? Today, we're literally pulling the emergency brake on reality itself. For just 5 ticks of the clock, we are going to simulate stopping the Earth from spinning. So what exactly happens to you, to the atmosphere, to the very crust of our planet? Let's find out together if you're truly prepared for the most chaotic 5 seconds in planetary history.
Section 1. Why we keep spinning. Okay, let's dive into this. Before we just stop the Earth dead in its tracks, we've got to look at our baseline. Right now, our planet makes one full rotation on its axis every single day. This steady, continuous motion gives us our day and night cycle, and honestly, it's something we completely take for granted. I mean, we've been continuously spinning for 4.6 billion years. Our rotation started way back when the planet was just forming. Picture this huge disk of gas and dust swirling around the sun. As those dust and rock grains forcefully clumped together, those collisions generated the exact forces that kept the entire planet rotating in one continuous direction. Imagine the Earth. Kind of like a figure skater pulling their arms in and spinning faster and faster. Because there are almost no counterforces in the vacuum of space to slow the planet down, well, we just keep rotating. It's an uninterrupted, perfect spin that will naturally continue for billions of years. But what if it didn't?
Section 2. Hitting the emergency brake.
Alright, if we go from a perfectly balanced spin to absolute zero in a literal millisecond, we immediately run into a huge problem: inertia. That's the tendency of objects to keep moving, even when the Earth abruptly stops. Because, the atmosphere doesn't just stop because the ground does. That means everything above the crust is about to experience utter devastation. The air is going to keep moving at the exact same speed the Earth was just spinning.
And because the Earth rotates fastest at its widest point, stopping abruptly means you'd suddenly experience wind speeds of 1,670 kilometers per hour at the equator. To put that into a terrifying perspective, severe storms that can literally move houses right off their foundations are only a third of this speed. And even further away from the equator, in places like New Zealand or France, you're still looking at 1,180 kilometers per hour. That is still much stronger than any storm ever recorded in human history.
With winds that fast, you can completely forget about running inside a steel-reinforced building. It wouldn't matter if you were hiding in a bunker or standing in an open field. These winds are so unbelievably powerful, they wouldn't just knock you off your feet. They would totally tear apart concrete structures, send cars flying into the sky, and actually tear up the Earth's crust itself. If the ground under your feet didn't immediately crumble, you, along with an incredible amount of other debris, would be sent flying a massive distance. But hey, I do have a quick bit of scientific reassurance for you amidst all this chaos. You wouldn't actually fly off the face of the Earth into space. Escape velocity is 40,000 kilometers per hour. That's the necessary speed you'd need to actually break free from Earth's gravitational forces and enter space. So yes, you'd be thrown incredibly far and fast by those terrifying winds, but gravity would still, thankfully, keep you grounded on the planet.
Section 3. Water, bulges, and tsunamis.
Now, what's really interesting and terrifying about this is that the wind tearing up the crust is honestly just the beginning of our 5-second nightmare. You see, our planet is actually not a perfect sphere right now. It bulges near the equator, entirely because of the centrifugal forces generated by our daily rotation. But the exact millisecond that spinning stops, that centrifugal force vanishes completely, and the Earth quickly transforms into a perfect sphere. And that sudden, radical geographical change has massive, devastating consequences for our oceans. First, the Earth loses that equatorial bolt. Consequently, all that ocean water furiously rushes toward the poles, generating a massive tsunami. But remember, this stop only lasts 5 seconds, so the spin quickly resumes, causing all that water to immediately backtrack. That means a colossal wall of water slams into everyone and everything, not just once, but twice. Talk about one heck of a storm.
Section 4. Surviving the apocalyptic aftermath.
Alright, let's take a hard, realistic look at the post-disaster landscape now that the planetary clock has started ticking normally again. The Earth itself is spinning fine, but human civilization essentially is not. There would be absolutely nothing left. Every single building, all of our farmland, and all our technology would be demolished beyond recognition. Billions of people, If not literally every single person on Earth would die from the sheer brute force of those massive gusts of wind and the dual walls of water.
Now, if you are absolutely determined to be the ultimate survivor and actually live through an event like this, here is your incredibly specific survival guide based on the data. First, you need to relocate near the North or South Poles, because those areas are essentially the pivot points of the spin that experience the mildest winds. Second, since the surface is still getting severely scoured, you'd have to build an incredibly deep, heavily reinforced underground bunker. Those are the strict, absolute criteria required to even stand a chance.
But here is the really good news I want you to take away from this explainer today. You don't need to grab a shovel and start digging your polar bunker immediately. Scientists expect that the Earth won't come to a halt anytime in the next few billion years. So we're safe from the planetary emergency brake for a very, very long time.
Which brings us to our final thought. We know that long before the Earth ever naturally stops spinning, the sun is going to burn out and turn into a red giant anyway. So if the sun is going to completely alter our solar system before the spin ever even stops, is building that bunker even worth it? I'll let you ponder our ultimate place in the universe. Thank you so much for joining me for this explainer. Stay curious and keep learning.